What's up guys, it's BD here, and this is the review of the Ninjutso Katana. Now when I first saw this mouse, I thought it was going to be a G Pro wireless clone, but to my surprise, after I put my hands on it, I realized this is actually the classic, and some might even call the goat of mice, the Microsoft IntelliMouse Optical. Now this is a mouse that I'm very familiar with. I mained it back in my CSGO days when I was a youngin', so you can imagine my excitement once I put my hands on this mouse. But if you're gonna make a Microsoft IntelliMouse Optical clone, you're gonna need to do it right because you've got some big mouse feet to fill. So I want to see if this mouse could recreate that magic from the old Microsoft IntelliMouse, and I also want to see if they improved on it. So let's check it out. So it comes in at $60, which is pretty competitive right now in the market. It's smack dab right in the middle when it comes to wired mice. The Glorious is still absurd, only charging $50 for the Model O. Right off the bat, they're doing stuff that Microsoft would never do. This mouse is coming in at 58 grams, and it is light as a feather. It feels just as light as a Final Mouse did, and those are only weighing in at 40 grams. And this is just a testament to how well balanced this mouse is. Ninjutso did a phenomenal job here. They've done all the right things here without sacrificing the structural integrity of this mouse. When you press on the sides, you do not actuate the side buttons. In fact, there's barely any flex on the sides, which is insane. They've also updated the coating from that old coating on the Origin 1X. You know, the one that attracted oils and sweat from your hands. This one is more of a rough texture and it feels amazing. And once you get playing a little bit and your hands warm up, it sticks even more to this mouse without creating a slip and slide effect. It's an ambidextrous shape with a hump more towards the middle instead of towards the back. The shape is going to lend itself more towards palm grip users. The Katana is very similar in dimensions to the original IntelliMouse Optical, only a few millimeters off here and there. Needless to say, if you love the original like I did, you're going to love this mouse as well. When I tried to use this in claw grip or fingertip grip, I found it to be just a little bit too wide for my medium hands at 19 by 8.5 centimeters. If you have hands over 22 by 10 centimeters, this mouse is going to feel great for all grip styles. If you're medium hands, I stay with a relaxed claw or palm grip. And if you have small hands out there, I would just recommend this for palm grip only, just because of the nature of the shape. And I don't think there's enough surface at the top of the mouse for 131. It has this pyramid shape where it starts kind of wide at the bottom and then towards the top it kind of angles up. So having 3 fingers up on there doesn't feel that comfortable to me. Overall, the Katana is really comfortable. It did take some getting used to because there's no ledges for your thumb or your ring finger on the sides like some of the more modern mice out there. The PTFE feet on the bottom were a little rough. They did take some time to break in, so don't be alarmed. After I put in a couple of hours in on this mouse, and they felt like any other mouse feet out there. These have the 2 big mouse pads, one at the front, one at the back, and then a ring around the center. And I was hoping that this mouse would be wireless. I would have put this mouse over the top. It does come with a cord. It is a paracord type cord, but it's not my favorite. There is some resistance when you press it against itself, and it does tangle. I wouldn't run this without a mouse bungee. So you either have to replace it or run it with a bungee that you trust. But in this day and age, the competition is so high, cords are getting so good. We expect the best out of the box, and that's what I was expecting here. We didn't get it, so it's a downside. But otherwise, this mouse is packed with a ton of features. It has the Kale GM 8.0 switches, the best in the game right now. Now, each mouse can have a different feel to it because of the shell. So it really depends. They could put GM switches into a really crap mouse and it's gonna feel like crap. So I really commend them on these clicks because they are super crispy and they are super light. It really delivers. It feels like I'm getting the full potential out of the Kale GM 8.0 switches. There's barely any pre-travel on them, and the side buttons are also nice and light and clicky. They're not as big as the original IntelliMouse. In fact, they have more of a shape of the G Pro wirelesses. The scroll wheel does have some issues. When I click it to the left, it just stays there. It's loose. I'm not sure if that's just limited to my copy or if others out there are suffering the same issue, but it does make the mouse feel a little bit less premium. I might have them send me out another one just to see if this is just an isolated incident. On the bottom, they have the button for the hertz and also the DPI. This can also be changed in the software, but if you can get away with not having the software, I'm all for it. Let's drop a sound test of the button so you can hear what this mouse sounds like. Now the control that you get with this mouse is absolutely absurd. I don't know if I just have muscle memory from years ago when this mouse came out and I was using it in CS, but I felt right at home. It only took me about one game of deathmatch to really get adjusted to this mouse. I don't know if that's just a testament to how good the shape is just in general. Now this mouse did something that I think we all hope for. It disappeared. I got that mind to mouse connection. It felt like this mouse became a part of me, as cheesy as that sounds. I didn't have to worry about how I was holding the mouse, how it was gliding, how I was clicking the buttons. All that just didn't matter. I was just in the game, I was locked and loaded, and that to me is a testament of a good mouse. I know when a mouse does that, it's doing its job. When I have to force my hand into a position or I have to hold it a certain way, it becomes a problem. And it almost isn't worth it, you know, because then you're focusing on how you're holding the mouse. You're taking away from your experience. You're taking away from that concentration that could be on the game. Now in the software, you can reassign the buttons and configure the lift off distance, although it doesn't show you the actual millimeters. They should update that later. You can also change the deep bouncing. You can change the DPI if you like something funky like a 900 or a 1250 DPI. I don't trust those kind of people, but do you? There's an X and Y setting to change the speed of the X and Y. I'm not sure when this would be useful, but you have that setting. The deep bouncing is at 12 milliseconds by default. You can put that down to 1 and I didn't notice any difference. The scroll speed is really nice and works really well. You can do a whole page or you can do other things. Super nice. And you can also make macros for the mouse in here as well. One thing to note is that you do have to actually click apply for all of your settings to go through. I was sitting there like, why is nothing changing? Why, you know, I was changing the DPI and all that and nothing was changing. And I realized it's not on the fly like some other programs do it. The Katana is one of the few times where a clone or copy, whatever you want to call it, is better than the original. And not only that, it's done in a way that Microsoft could not and would not ever do. Let's be real, if they're gonna make a lightweight IntelliMouse, they would have done it already, but they haven't. All right, they're more focused on their Surface line, the Xbox One. They've forgotten all about their mice, let's be real. And if they did, when they did update their IntelliMouse 3.0, the Explorer, it was heavy as hell, okay? So it wasn't current. Do you really see them putting some Kale GM 8.0 switches on here, some PTFE feed or a paracord? That's just me, okay? I might be eating my words at some point, but for me, I don't see them ever doing that. So in this case, I love that a clone was made of the IntelliMouse Optical. You know, I gotta tip my hat off to Ninjutso. They did a really good job. They put all the top of the line stuff into a mouse and they delivered. Like I said, the scroll was a little bit wonky for me. The cable needs some work. Hopefully we can see this in a wireless version at some point. Price point is right in line with what's on the market. It's current. And for what you're getting, I think they did a really good job. So if you've been looking for the IntelliMouse replacement like I have for years, here it is. We have it, all the top specs, just go add to cart. Easy as that. All right, it has been your boy BT. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.